Hungover as shit.
All right, that got caught up. See, good thing I don't know how to edit. That's okay. I thought, oh, I can't say that. All right, 3 a.m. podcast. We have Amanda and Carrie on, and we'll start with Carrie. Tell us, tell us something about yourself. Tell us all about yourself.
Oh boy. So I grew up in a home with addiction, and it was
Okay.
a very traditional, conservative, Irish Catholic home where you did not speak things out loud.
Okay.
Denial was real. If I ever called out my father's behavior, my mother would flip her shit. You weren't allowed to say it out loud. You weren't allowed to talk about it. Um, and I felt like I was the only one in the house that was like seeing things for what they really were, but I felt really stifled and silenced. And so I really rebelled against my dad. And ironically, the shittiest part of all of it was when things got really bad and volatile, because sometimes he could be abusive and violent, was we had nobody to call because my father was a cop.
Okay.
Oh,
So there was like no relief. It wasn't like I'm going to call the cops on my dad, because they would all come and they would just defend my dad. Like they were very similar in nature. So that was very difficult. Feeling like I have this man who should be my protector, and then I have a community of people that are supposed to be protectors. And I felt really lost in that. So as a kid, what I did was I would rebel against him, but I spent a lot of time alone, and I really turned to nature, and I was a dancer, and I played music at the time, and I wrote poetry. So I really went into like all of the creative stuff, and I would just box myself in my room. You knew by looking at him, you could learn and we all, I think, do this in a home with addiction, is like you learn how to read people. It's like, okay, stay away.
Yeah.
This isn't
Yeah.
going to go good. So, it was a lot of walking on eggshells. And then I kind of married my dad, and I literally recreated my whole childhood. So that's a whole nother story. And then I had a kid who, it was a really volatile divorce. My ex-husband was a really tough person. I don't sidestep the fact that I had some responsibility in things, but it was difficult because he was also an abusive alcoholic. So
Okay.
my daughter took the brunt of a lot of his shit, because a lot of times an alcoholic parent will pick one kid in the family, and there's actually like real psychology to support that. So she was targeted, and she ended up doing 30 days for alcohol and tried to take her life twice.
Okay.
I'm halfway through my master's to become a licensed counselor. I worked as a clinician in an intensive outpatient program with co occurring disorders. I worked in higher education, working as a mental health technician in the counseling center for 2 years. I was a youth mentor working with kids that were dealing with substance use, homelessness, teenage pregnancy, cutting, co occurring disorders, you name it. And then I actually did that out in the wilderness. So I was an outdoor guide, and we were working within the confines of clinical, evidence-based practices, but we didn't
Okay.
have to be a certified clinician to work for the not-for-profit company out of Asheville. But I had kids that were suicidal. I'm talking like razor blade cuts this thick in their legs. They would come hungover or hammered. We would catch kids getting high during our wilderness treks. So I really am so passionate about um, this area of mental health. I think because my empathy and compassion is through the roof. I literally see the person. There's no bias or judgment with me at all whatsoever. I was telling Kevin before we went live, I've counseled murderers. My friends are like, "How do you do that?" I'm very good at seeing the person in front of me. And I will say, and I know this is contrary to what a lot of people believe, but I think that people caught up in addiction are deeply sensitive. I feel strongly that they have a different lens of life in the world. And I think this earth life is very hard for them. And it's yes, because I'm one of them. I got
Yeah.
myself sober. We're looking for the escape hatch, and it's not because we're bad people, and it's not necessarily because we're super fucked up. I think this world can be very hard for us because there is this
Yeah.
underpinning of sensitivity. And when I'm saying sensitivity, I'm meaning it as being a sensitive, not a sensitive person like you're crying at the drop of a hat. And not that there's anything inherently wrong with that, but I mean sensitive to the energies around us. I feel like we're the people
Okay.
that walk into a room and we feel, and we can't name it, but we feel something like I know that person's not a good person to be around, or there's some weird hovering energy in this room and I can't put my finger on it. And when you are around that all the time and you're feeling that and absorbing it, it's very difficult. So I think it's a
Okay.
natural inclination to find something that numbs that. And I know that's very much what was happening with my daughter,
Okay.
um, who is sober and has not touched alcohol in 6 years. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah.
She now found the will to live. So as a mom, that's thrilling. There was a time where I had to look her in the eye and say, if you don't want to be here, I cannot stop you from doing, I can't, it's not one way or the other.
Yeah.
It would devastate me, but I had to really let go of the outcome and detach. And that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to endure as a parent, knowing that
Okay.
I really had zero control over what decision I was going to make. And that was a really difficult 2 years of literally never knowing if my kid was going to be here or not. And
Okay.
with that was the way she was actually trying to take her life, which was like literally trying to drink herself to death. So
Yeah.
we would
I
end up in the ER, and they would be like, the first time they were like, we have no idea if she's going to make it through the night. Like her blood alcohol is like, we've never seen numbers this high. And
Okay.
we just have no idea what else is in her system. And we just don't know if she's going to make it. And I was, after a while, I was like, what were you thinking? And she was like, well, it's just easier to go if you're not feeling anything. And I was like, okay, fair. So I had to have these really, like, my friends are like, how are you having these conversations with your daughter? But I think being really raw and honest is just the best thing. She knew she was fucked up. She knew she wasn't in a good place. Me acting like she had everything together wasn't going to help her. So we were trained at the college I worked a lot with suicide prevention and postvention. And we were trained to literally look somebody in the eye and be like, hey, do you want to kill yourself? Like, do you want to take your life? So there's like no pussyfooting around it when it comes to me. I can have really hard,
Yeah.
tough conversations. There's nothing anybody could say to me that is going to put fear in me or pity you. I'm not going to pity you. You don't need my pity. You need my love and support. You don't need my pity. You feel sorry enough for yourself because I know what that's like because I was there.
Right.
I know what it's like, and there's so much shame attached to this. So I understand what you need, when I say you, I mean the proverbial you, all of us that have been, cycled into the addiction world. No one needs to tell you you're fucking up. Nobody needs to tell you what you're doing is hurting yourself. You just need to understand. You need to be seen. You need to be felt. You need to be heard. That is the way through healing. Because I truly believe that this is a disease of disconnection. And I believe
Okay.
that's on a soul level. And I think we're living in a world that has become way more soulless. And we are the most connected in terms of social media. And the loneliness epidemic is fucking huge. People have
Yeah.
never
It's
felt so alone and isolated. And we are more connected than ever. So, what is it telling you? And
yeah.
so, go ahead, Kevin.
That, that's interesting because I talk about that a lot. I talk about how we are all on social media, but we're not in real life. We're
Yeah,
sitting in
no.
our living rooms and we're on our phones, and we're not getting that connection that we've had for thousands and thousands of years. And I think that a lot of us don't know how to. We think that we're staying connected, but there's a part of us that needs that human connection, that
Oh, yeah.
in-person human connection,
Yes.
and that. So I thank you for that. Let me tell. I'm going to tell a little story real quick. Um, so I lost my leg 6 years ago, and I I've always been a driven person. I'm a monster, and that's what I think of myself is I'm a monster. Well, I lose my leg. I get in a motorcycle accident. I get hit head on. I just about bleed out in the street. I lose my leg. I found out during that the relationship I was in was horrible. Like there was a lot of stuff going on that I had no idea. So I went through a lot of the recovery and hospital and the surgeries by myself. And so I got really, I didn't, no one asked me if I was okay. And I didn't know how to express that I wasn't okay.
Mm.
So as a man, I'd never been taught that I could just be like, hey, I'm not okay. I felt like that made me look weak, and that wasn't who I was. So I was literally doing pull-ups 4 days after my freaking amputation. I'm just, and nobody asked me why I was staying so busy. See, I tried outrunning what I was feeling, what I didn't know how to express, and I ended up in my garage shooting coke in my vein, drinking myself to death, and literally hoping off and on that this would be the last shot, that this would be the one that took me out.
Mm.
And I remember thinking that through, and I didn't know that I was being suicidal. I didn't know, it was like the second nature thought. And so I got bad for 2 or 3 years, shooting coke in my vein. I'd have a gun in my mouth. I just, I all my curtains drawn, like no light in my house, and I didn't know how to. It took me, so I pulled myself out of that somehow. But yeah, it's funny because we have a hard time with grief. Also, I think as people, we've gotten rid of grief. We don't know how to grieve for people. We don't know how to grieve for ourselves. It makes us uncomfortable. So I didn't know how to express what I needed to express, and nobody asked me if I was okay. They moved furniture that, like keeping stuff out of my way on the trip, but nobody said, Kevin, how are you doing with losing your leg, with losing a place of your body, with dying out in the street? Nobody asked me that. I didn't know how to tell people I was okay, and I destroyed myself. I became a crappy dad because I've got 2 little girls, and I've always loved those. I was a good dad. I took care of them. But I see, and it took me a while to look back at my life and figure out, I became a really crappy dad. I wasn't just destroying myself. I was destroying how my little girls looked at me and their thought of me. So there was a lot of stuff that I ended up burning down in my life because of addiction, because I didn't know that was the easiest route for me. I wanted to numb it out. I didn't know how to live without numbing it out. And from there, yeah, I got very, very suicidal for it.
That makes me sad, Kev. I didn't know you went through that.
That's okay. I didn't
Like,
know how
that
to,
sucks.
I
You've
didn't know how
always
to
been a
reach out.
peace, like, that
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, it's okay.
Well, thank you for sharing all that. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Why do you think nobody asked you if you were okay?
I've got this idea. It's called the curse of competency.
That's
Okay?
exactly it.
So just because somebody carries something
Yep.
well does not mean it is not heavy.
The stronger the person, the least support they will given,
Yeah.
because everybody looks at a highly competent person, always gets it done and always pushes through, as like, anytime I've gone through a hard thing, all I've ever heard my friends say to me is, well, you've got this. We never worry about you. You always figure it out. They don't ask me if I'm okay. They don't ask me if I need anything. So I'm glad that you recognize that, because that's not a theory. There's actually real psychology behind that. The
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
competent a person is, the least amount of support they tend to receive in like real life, which is, I'm sorry you went through all that. How is
Oh,
your
it's.
relationship with your daughters now?
I went through my divorce drunk, still doing coke, and lost everything. My lawyer didn't believe in me. I wouldn't believe in me. I mean,
Yeah.
I was in a motorcycle club, an outlaw club. I'm drunk all the time. I'm going down the only path in life that I've known since a kid, which was always the wrong fucking path. And it
Mm-hmm.
felt more, I've always felt more comfortable going down the wrong path than the right path because I never believed in myself enough to
Yeah.
believe that I deserved to be on any kind of a right path.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I understand that.
So, Amanda, did tell us about yourself. And I know this is going to be tough. I'll tell you what, when I started doing podcasts, if I would watch my podcast, I would delete it and redo the whole thing. And
Really?
sometimes I would spend 4 hours just deleting a
Oh
45-minute
no.
podcast. because it's anxiety. It gets nerve wracking, but I think it's in another way. It's really freeing to be able to just kind of let your heart out and talk real openly. It a little hangover afterwards, and then a whole bunch of freedom because you did the hard thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I asked you not to ask me that question.
I know
well,
you
But
did.
anyway,
how about this
I
question?
don't know how to I don't know how to tell anybody about myself. Like
Okay,
I'm just me. I I, I told you
it's
I'd
okay.
freeze. That's a I think I'm a good person. You
You
know,
are a good
I do have
person.
an addiction.
Yeah.
Um, Alcohol is like the number one.
Okay.
Cocaine comes hand in hand with that, and
Yeah.
I do live in New Mexico now. And the only reason that we moved out here, me and my wife, um, from Colorado, is because we didn't have to have roommates anymore. We don't have rent anymore. It's cheap out here. Um, but like I tell everybody, there's a reason I left, and I never ever wanted to come back because if anybody knows me, I've always been a partier. Like I'm up, man is always down. You know, like I worked with you at the bar. Like
Yeah.
I'm always up for anything, a good time. You know, but like being here, losing my grandma, just it for me, it's a dead end road here. Like financially, it's great, but I'm not happy here.
Okay.
Uh, there's nothing to do. You know, addiction. Sorry.
You're
uh,
fine. You're great. I'm there with you.
you know, like you. I met you at UConn, you know, and you were
Yeah.
there when my best friend died. And,
Yeah.
you know, getting a free shift drink every shift. And you get to know the customers and you get a free drink. And that's kind of where it all started. And then it's just like I use it for anything. If I'm sad, like I've not had a lot of deaths. And it's just like I know that everybody goes through something, but like that's all I know how to turn to. And it's just like recently I came out to my wife and I had $9,000 in my savings account in September. I have 1,500. My Coke habit became a $700 a week habit. I was going through a quarter ounce of Coke every 3 days. Um, I did go to rehab. I ended up in detox, and when I got out of detox, I was like, "I'll give you 2 months. Like, I'll give you 2 months. I won't drink." Well, I started doing Coke more. Like, I never touched it without alcohol, and then I made that my go-to, and then I was like, "Cool, I'm losing weight."
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight really fast. I lost like almost 40 pounds in months. And everyone, like, someone's like, "You look great. Are you sick?" Kicking, like, you know, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You know, I know there's a problem. It's affecting my marriage. It's affecting my job. Um, I fight with myself every single day. Like, I tell myself every single day, just go home, go home. But I end up at the liquor store. I've been drunk for like 4 days straight. And that's waking up, slamming a beer on, like, there's things I shouldn't say on here, but like, I've been, like, I'm not drunk right now, but,
Yeah.
I don't know. My wife's out of town. She's in Missouri with her kids, and we agreed to 1 day a week. She's not here, so I'm doing what I want.
Okay.
And she's not happy, but I'm not hurting her. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm hurting her a little bit because I'm not calling her. I'm not texting her. I'm just like
Does that
doing what I
come
want to
from?
do.
Does that kind of? Is there a little bit of shame attached to that?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
proud of it at
remember.
all.
Yeah, I remember when I was going through and I was putting that coke in my veins and I was drinking all the time. I didn't leave my house. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want anyone to see me. I was embarrassed. I was full of shame. I owned a business, never went in that business. I I understand. I understand that. I don't think anyone saw me for a year and a half.
Wow. Yeah, so
What happens when the alcohol and the drugs wear off? What are the sensations that you experience inside your body, inside your mind? What,
like hangover or like when I
yeah,
actually
like
sober
what
up?
before when you sober up? What does any feeling come up?
Yeah, so I my wife and my mom kind of put me through their little like in-home detox, like took my
Hmm.
keys, didn't let me leave the house. If my wife left, I was in the passenger seat with her. Like it sucked. I went irritable,
Hmm.
and then I got sad.
Hmm.
Like I just missed it. I just, and that's when I approached my wife, and we're testing out marriage counseling now. But I was like, that's what I want to talk to you about. I was like, will you give me 1 day a week? Because I feel void. Like I feel like a void.
Hmm.
Um, put myself in counseling. Um, she just keeps telling me, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. She hasn't figured it out. And I
Are
told
they
her it never work.
are they doing any specific kind of therapy with you right now, Amanda?
No, I had to reschedule, and she's like, I'll call you later and we'll reschedule. Haven't talked to her in 2 weeks. Like, I feel like she kind of gave up on me. So, um, no, just the regular old, you know,
Have you
counselor, I
ever
guess.
done meetings when you were in rehab? Did you do the meetings?
Every day except for 1 day a week.
Yeah. They have you go twice a day or just once?
Sometimes it was twice.
Hmm.
Yeah, most of the time it was twice, and then, but always once, and then except for like Saturdays.
And that was AA, right?
It was, NA.
NA. Okay.
NAAA, yeah, it was both,
Yeah.
but more NA.
Okay.
But yeah, I was
That.
in rehab for 35 days in Taos, New Mexico.
Mhm.
So I actually did not want to leave.
I
Uh,
understand.
I felt safe.
I was just going to
And
ask. You know what
yeah,
protective factors are?
no.
Protective.
Do I feel protective?
No. Do you know what protective factors are?
No.
I don't. I don't.
So, like your dog, your animal is a protective factor. Any type of friendship or organization where you feel safe. So, I can understand you not wanting to leave because for me, if I was your counselor, I would be helping you figure out your protective factors because you feeling safe right now is really, really pivotal for you because addiction's very chaotic, right? And when everything feels out of control and we feel out of control inside ourselves, we need at least one thing that's kind of like a safety net or that safeguard. And so those are protective factors. So having that, whether it's in a friendship or an intimate partnership or with an animal or being part of an organization, that's why I was asking you if you still actively went for meetings.
No, when I was in Taos, there was like 50 people. When I got out here, I went to a meeting and there was like 6.
Yeah.
It's there's 11,000 people here. Like everybody's related, everybody knows it. So they're just like goofing off, and I didn't like it. Um, I felt relief going there because I felt like comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't the same. And then I remember about a week after I got out of rehab, I was on my way to the liquor store and I went to the meeting. And I was 30 minutes late, whatever, but like I ended up there and I was kind of proud of myself. But I lasted 6 days when I got out of rehab.
Okay.
Um, because I also didn't want to quit.
Yeah.
So,
And that's okay. You know that, right? Like it's even the 6 stages of change. The last stage is relapse. They understand that relapse is actually a part of the whole process of finding your way in that maintenance stage, the fifth stage, and staying there. So there's nothing wrong with you, Amanda. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad person. Addiction is not a good or bad thing. It is what it is. And the fact that you're so honest with yourself is really important because the hardest clients are the ones that are like completely in denial, right? They're in the pre contemplative stages. They're not even acknowledging that they have something wrong or something that needs to be solved. So you're like more than halfway there in my humble opinion, and doing better than I think you think because you have a very good hold on where you are, where you need to go, or kind of like the direction you want to go. And you're very aware and you know how this is affecting you, your finances, your relationships. That's like really half the battle. When you were a kid, what fulfilled you? What brought you joy? What did you like to do?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Like what age are we talking about?
Any age. Just what did you like to do?
When I was a kid, video games.
Okay.
When I was a teenager, drugs and alcohol.
So before the drugs and alcohol, it was video games. Were you into music,
Oh
art,
yeah,
any?
yeah. A lot of Lincoln Park, a lot of Papa Roach, a lot of my rock. I don't know.
Do you like being outside in nature?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, like I love the camping, I love the hiking, I love my doggies, and I got a lot that I love to do. I just choose not to, and I would rather just pick up a bottle.
Sure.
Um,
Can I say something real quick?
yeah,
So I'm big on statistics and data and stuff like that. They put a bunch of mice. They put a mouse in a cage, and they put cocaine laced water, and the mouse was by itself, and it was like 100% overdose rate. They kept replacing the mice, and they would drink that cocaine water, and they would get addicted to it, and they would overdose. When they put more mice and some other activities in that cage, and they would put a regular water and a cocaine laced water, the overdose rate plummeted to zero.
that's a real
They
thing.
would, yes.
Yeah, the rat
That's
So
fucked up.
park. It's
yeah,
called
so
rat park, the experiment.
well, so the thing is we can draw a lot of parallels and correlations from that, right? Because when they were in their natural environment and they had friends and they had other activities that they could engage in, they decided not to to drink the cocaine as well. So do you
That
have?
makes
Is
sense.
there any? Yeah, is there? You're in a small town, right? Is there any kind of community, like any kind of activities, any kind of what is your crowd? What does your group look like? Who are you?
Uh, I was born here, but I never lived here. I mean, I lived here when
Okay,
I was like 5.
okay.
So I don't know anybody. So even though I'm going through this, like I work in retail, the highlight is interacting with the
See.
customers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's the only like real social interaction that I get. I do have a handful of friends, maybe, you know, out here, but and my wife is amazing. Like she's my best friend, but she's not
Yeah.
here. So I want to be with somebody. Like I don't want to be alone. Um, I don't have friends. I mean, I have a lot of cool, awesome coworkers that are like cool, but I've never hung out with any of them outside of work ever, not one. And it's been 3 years,
Okay.
and I try, but so I was like, hey, let's go get a beer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I got like one solid friend out here, like that I've known since I was 11 years old. Um, but that's it. Besides my wife,
Okay. Okay.
What
it's
about
amazing.
hiking group? What about joining a hiking group?
I don't know if they have that out here. I mean, I'd be willing to look into it, but and my mom's here. I shouldn't say I don't have anybody. My mom's here. My grandfather's here. I live 5 minutes from a lake, and I love kayaking. And I love camping and all this stuff. But like, it's like when she invites me, I'm like, nah, I, just, I don't want to.
There's some resistance.
Unless I have alcohol in me, and then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
let's go. You know what I'm saying? But if not, I basically go to work and I come home and I plop on the couch and I watch TV and I pass out. Like that's my life.
How
And
long
I just
have you been in New Mexico now?
I'm sorry.
How long have you been in New Mexico now?
This month is 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. All my friends are in Colorado, and it's like I miss them so much. Like Colorado is home to me, but it's like even I've kind of I don't reach out to anybody. I don't text anybody. I don't respond. Like I'm distant to the people that I was closest with, and it's just like I'm just like in my little hole
What do you think the resistance is with that?
because I'm too fucked up to respond.
Mm-hmm.
There's this lady that I would talk to every single freaking day at like 4 o'clock in the morning because we'd like wake up early and we just like have a 45-minute hour conversation. It's like even now I haven't talked to her in forever. Like I'll throw her a quick message and she'll like it, or it's just like I distance myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like I don't know why. Like,
Do
I
you
love.
have a desire to move back to Colorado? Is that something you would want to do?
Fuck yeah. End
Yeah.
goal is Florida because I love the beach. But
Mhm.
yeah, I would love to live in Colorado again. I really, 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 really would.
Because your environment is really important for recovery and your overall health and well-being. So here's Kevin, you'll appreciate this because you're the statistic guy. During the Vietnam War, they saw some of the highest rates of heroin use among soldiers.
Yep.
And when those soldiers came home, they were so worried that they were all going to remain addicted. 95% of them never used heroin again. Again. So
Yep.
there is full proof that when you are in, and when you take yourself out of an environment and put yourself into a different one, and you have more connection and interaction and more fulfillment, you can actually sidestep and recover more quickly. And so I would I don't ever tell anyone what to do, but I would focus on protective factors because you're in New Mexico right now, right? So you have to do what you have to do for now. And then I would really work out a plan on trying to find my exit strategy because oftentimes we sink deeper into addiction when we're in an environment that just is not fulfilling. It's like we're trying to fill a void and a hole, and we need to make a different change. So if you're that unhappy there, I mean, that would be a really strong goal for me, for you. And I would look into, so I was certified, I'm a certified smart recovery facilitator, which goes hand in hand with AA. It's a good complement to AA, although people can just go for smart recovery on its own. So it's not like a nonprofit type of deal. Very similar to AA, but very different. Because they don't talk about God, which I personally believe in God. You don't have to, that's fine. But smart recovery is for the non-God people, so that's a nice side benefit. Um, we work with REBT, which is an offshoot of CBT. And really, you're just developing smart recovery goals, and you're getting out of the hypothalamus, the primal brain, into the prefrontal cortex, which is that executive functioning. So it's making that switch to logical, rational thoughts, and getting out of that survival brain. And that sounds really complicated, but smart recovery goals is like, what's one thing that I want to focus on? How can I create these goals so that I can make that one thing happen? And that's going to look different for you. If you're going to stay in New Mexico, your goal is going to be completely different than if you're going to, relocate. But how does your wife feel about relocating? Like, she's all on board for Florida?
She wants to live anywhere but here because, like I said, I've always had a little bit of trouble with alcohol, but it's every single freaking day.
Yeah.
Um, she says the Amanda in Colorado is not the same Amanda out here.
Okay. Well, that's good feedback.
She's all for it, but financially,
Yeah.
dang, I can't right now. Like my job's on the line. Like I make pretty good money because I transferred from Colorado. Like,
Hmm.
I do good. My wife's in between jobs right now. She is starting a job that can give us the opportunity to travel. And where I work, I can transfer anywhere that has this store every
Okay.
6 months.
That's good.
So we can go, but we also have 2 dogs and 3 cats,
Yeah.
and that's kind of makes it hard. Um,
Hard, not impossible.
yeah,
Yeah. Hard, not impossible. Right?
yeah.
You know, when I when I was in my hole, I carried so much shame with me that I would tell my dealer that the coke was for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
She
Okay,
said,
so
"You said what?"
I would literally tell the guy I was buying it from, like, yeah, I need to pick up an ounce for somebody else. Like, I
And it was
didn't
yours.
even want the guy I was buying it from. I was ashamed for him to know how much coke I was going through. And then there's a gym I'm at now. Uh, it took me 4 years to go back to this gym because a lot of the people at that gym saw me in my worst.
Yeah.
And so I was ashamed of myself. And I had so much cognitive dissonance and so much anxiety walking into this gym because it reminded me. It reminded me of who I was at one point. It reminded me of that I felt like I was a piece of shit. And walking into that, I've been in that gym for 4 months now. And it was hard. The first
Mm.
couple weeks, the first month was hard, but I actually talked to a couple people. I sat down and I said, you know what? I went through a really hard time. Um, this is what I was thinking. This is what I did. And it was hard to have those conversations, but I walk in that gym now and I feel like I'm home. The anxiety has gone away. And the more I talk about what I've been through and what I did to myself and how I became a shitty dad, the less shame I have to carry with that. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that works. I don't know. I think
Because I saw your
I've,
come up too. You know,
yeah, yeah. And a lot of
that's
that is,
something to be proud of.
I didn't feel like deserved it, the come up. So it took a long time for me to pull myself up on my bootstraps. But where I'm going is, so talking about it and even getting on here, I will mention it every once in a while, just how bad I got, like out of the blue. And I do that for myself because I don't have shame anymore around the way I had gotten. But it was a hard door to open up to get rid of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much shame surrounding addiction, and there's a lot of struggle with self-worth and self-respect. A lot of addiction is just this deep sense of inferiority and not being worthy, wherever that comes from. I mean, I don't even think we need to excavate that. It's not like you really need to know. It's kind of par for the course with addiction. So there's really a lot of that can be done to help you find a deep sense of self. Like Amanda, you were saying that you just don't want to be alone. Um, the last thing somebody in the throes of what you're enduring is, you need to be surrounded by really good people who see you and value you. Being alone, I would say to somebody who doesn't have addiction issues and maybe is super codependent and in and out of relationships, I might say to that person, like, hey dude, it'd be worth your time to like try to be alone for a little bit and really get to know yourself. But for you right now, I think those protective factors are really going to be your saving grace. So just trying to find community anywhere and working really hard not to box people out, because addiction's very isolating. It's very isolating, and I really hope that you can find a way to source some connection somewhere. And I think that might help you until you kind of like figure out your next steps in getting out of there, and whether you go back to Colorado or Florida.
Yeah, no, a lot of people tell me I'm very, very self-aware, and I know that.
You
I'm very social, but I don't drink. I have, you know, a couple friends, but I drink alone. My wife
are.
hates alcohol because of me.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. Like, I'm with her because she's my favorite human in the whole world, but like, I'm just doing this by myself.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if I can. I don't know.
What are you most afraid of? What are you most afraid of? What's your biggest fear right now?
My wife leaving me,
Hmm.
or me drinking myself to death.
Hmm.
She always tells me, like one day her fear is her waking up and I'm dead next to her in bed. Um, I don't want that life, and I told her from the get go that you deserve better. And the other day, kind of made me feel some type of way, like I feel bad for her, but she's like, "Why can't you be that better for me?"
Hmm.
And it's just like, I don't know if I know how to.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, we've been together a little over 9 years. We've been married 6. Like, she's dealt with this every single day, and she's still here. But like, that's my fear. That's my fear is her leaving me.
Okay. What is your number one reason for wanting to live?
Mine,
Yeah.
my wife, and animals.
Okay. That's a really good reason.
I mean, I think I love life. Sounds weird, but
No, you love
I'm not
life,
happy.
but I don't know that you love yourself.
Oh, I've always told my wife, like, and I've told a lot of people this, like, I love my wife more than I love myself, and it's not that
Hmm.
I hate myself. I don't hate myself, but I love her more.
Hmm.
But I'm not willing to, you know. It's weird. I'm sorry. Like,
Don't be
No,
sorry.
don't apologize.
You know what your wife needs from you more than anything
Mhm.
is for you to love yourself as much as you love her.
I don't know what that is, so
No one knows what the self love is.
I don't hate
There's
myself.
a
Like I
million
don't.
definitions, and everybody will describe it differently. That is such a path of self discovery that only you could figure out, and maybe someone like me and Kevin and other people in your life can like point in a direction and say maybe try that way, but that might not be the way for you. But self love is very relative and very individual. Um, but just finding little ways of it sounds like you really love that you're self-aware. You know that about yourself. You seem
I mean, I'm
proud
not
of that.
dumb. Like I know what I'm doing. I know the harm that I'm causing. I
You
know
lit
when
up.
my animals are sad because I'm passed out drunk. Like I know the damage that I'm causing, but I still keep doing it.
Hmm.
What are you proud of yourself about? What have you been through in your life that you made it through that you can attach some pride to?
Uh,
How long have you been at the job you're at right now? How long have you worked for the
um,
same place?
4 years total with all the stores.
Yeah.
I love that people come to me because they don't really have good work ethic out here. Like they're rude out here. And I care. Like I want to help. So people seek me out. Like, yeah, this chick, she's like, I've been looking for you for 4 days. Where's my dog food? You know what I'm saying? Like, I go above and beyond at my job.
Okay.
I fall short a lot because I'm hungover a lot or drunk a lot. Like, I know where I fall short, but I do care. And I think that's something that, like, I like about myself is, like, I treat them the way I would want to be treated, you know? Like, I, I don't know. That's
What
one thing I
else?
like about myself.
What else is there? What have you been through? What have you done hard? What, life always has us. Uh, life has a tendency to hand us bullshit sometimes, and there's a lot of the bullshit that we make it through without flinching that maybe somebody else wouldn't have made it through. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. What would it take for you to get back to Colorado? What would have to happen?
Money.
Yeah.
Ideally, I wish my mom would let us sell this home and the land and take that to buy a piece of property in Colorado. But my grandma wanted to keep this home in my family, and we respect that. And besides, it's like grandma, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, money. It's just really
Okay.
money, you know,
Because
because
it might be better off just to come here and get a small, crappy apartment. Just as a step. And I don't know if this is right. This is just me kind of spitballing. Um, Maybe it would help just to make the move, get some shitty little apartment out here, and start on the bottom, but you'd actually will have kind of gone up a couple tiers, right, from New Mexico.
yeah, yeah.
What do
It's
you think a good
what's up?
game plan? What do you think a good game plan for that would be? So if you were going to write down maybe 5 or 10 steps, right? Steps that you could look at every morning and that you could, and they're doable, right? I mean, Jordan Peterson will say, make your bed. Maybe start by making your bed. Um, but very, very doable, very, like when I set goals, I try to make them very low so that I'm still at that point where if I make my goals very low and then I conquer that goal, no matter how low that goal was, I am proud of myself. And then
Yeah,
that
that's
helps
Definitely
me.
run. It's over. Up.
make the goal achievable
Yep.
because that's going to build your confidence.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be like I want to become a millionaire in the next 3 months. It's like,
Yeah.
I need $6,000 to get back to Colorado. How can I get that? How long do I think it's going to take me to make $6,000? You want it to be small and achievable and chunk your goals. So it might take you 6 different steps to get out of New Mexico, but you're going to chunk that. So just take it one step at a time. What is the one thing you can do right now? That's the absolute priority. And
Step
so
number one would be to sober up.
Yep. Okay. And so what is going to get you there? Be very real with yourself. What can you do when you're driving home from work to blow by that liquor store and say, I'm not going to fucking do this today?
Are there small steps you could take towards sobering up? Because I know sobering up probably feels like a monumental feat right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
And
like I
I've been,
said, I went 4 days, when my wife was here. I didn't drink for 4 days, and I just, I didn't know what to fucking do with myself.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, I'm bored. But it's just like, I have so many things I love, but I'm fucking bored.
And what would happen if you allowed yourself to sit in boredom? What would happen? Why is
like alone?
Yeah, why is boredom so terrifying?
Because my mind doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm. Do you like to read? What about playing video games?
Legos.
Do you play them now while you're fucked up? Okay, so there's nothing attached to video games? Okay.
No, I just choose not to do anything.
Yeah. Do you know who Gabor Mate is?
Huh?
Do you know who Gabor Mate is?
Uh-uh.
No. Gabor Mate doesn't like Jordan Peterson, and Jordan Peterson doesn't like Gabor Mate.
They both have very strong points. Yeah.
Yes.
Give me 1 second.
Gabor Mate is
Hold
like
on.
Jordan Peterson's young. I love them both, but I would love to see them battle it out because they just don't agree on much. But I think she would resonate more with Gabor Mate, who's a little softer.
Okay, yeah, I love Jordan Peterson. Yeah. I put him above Gabor Mate. I've seen little lectures. Yeah, I love Jordan Peterson. I love what he talks about. Go ahead.
I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
So Gabor Mate, M-A-T-E, he is an expert on addiction. And he actually uses psychedelic therapy for heroin and coke addicts in particular. He does the psychotherapy end, and then he has a team that does the ayahuasca. And then there's this other plant medicine that's excellent for specifically like heroin and coke. And I'm not even saying that's what you should do. I'm not telling you what to do in that area, but I would look up Gabor Mate and listen to some of his YouTube videos because I think he would bring you a lot of comfort. He's a lot softer than Jordan Peterson. I think Jordan Peterson might terrify you a bit.
I like the tough love, though. I like when people are real, so, that doesn't scare me.
No fucking nonsense, dude. If you want direct, if you want somebody to give it to you straight, then you watch Jordan Peterson.
You're a piece of shit.
No, he's not for the face. He is a little more militant. That's the military, right? Get up, make your bed, keep your space clean, stay organized, plan your day. Kind of rule your day. It's like yoga, because I also teach yoga and Ayurveda. I don't think people realize that most of modern day neuroscience is all ancient yoga texts. Literally, it's like the Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Sutras, and that's 2,500 years old. And modern neuroscience is just catching up to everything the ancient yogis have been saying forever. And one of the biggest things that they tout is becoming a master of your mind and not a servant. And that's like so like military, right? Like mindset. Mindset is literally ancient yoga. That's how they were able to sit in the freezing cold in the Himalayas and like freezing their balls off and meditate for 8 hours with icicles like hanging out of their nostrils. So it's really learning how to get your mind into a very specific state. I think that's like not even something I would be focusing on with you right now. I would be focusing on connection to self, connection to the natural world, connection to others. Gabor Mate talks a lot, and a lot of indigenous people, like the Hopi prophecies were that this was all going to happen. And addiction was going to skyrocket because we are living in the most disconnected times in human history and disconnection from the natural world. So I think getting outside, that's why I would love to see you join a hiking group. I would love to see you have activities outside of I do this and alcohol is involved. You know,
So when I
get
was
out
in
and
rehab, we did hiking.
mm-hmm.
We had yoga. I loved yoga. And I loved the hiking. Like I didn't want to leave. Like I'm 41. Like, and this was less than 2 years ago that I was in rehab, and I didn't want to leave because I liked the structure. I liked that we had to wake up and make our bed. I liked that we had breakfast at this time. I liked that we had a schedule. I liked it. I really
because
liked it. And when I left, like I cried because I was scared to come home. And when I came home, there's more to the story. But when I came home, I felt lost. Like I felt
yeah.
out of place. Like I didn't like it. And like I said, I lasted 6 days.
Is
Um,
there? Do you think there's a way that you could provide some structure for yourself? Do you think there's a way maybe you could start on a list of something you do first thing in the morning? What time do you go to work?
um, either 7 a.m. or 8 a.m.
Okay, what do you? What time do you wake up?
30 minutes before I have to work.
All right.
Yeah, like crawl
Okay.
out of bed, shower out the door.
Are
Absolutely
you
fair enough.
a night person? Do you like
No,
no? Okay.
if I'm on the stuff, yeah, I'll stay up all night. But no, I don't like my alarm clock, but I like getting off early. Not that I do anything; it's because I have more time to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Do you work an 8 hour day?
uh, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So I rush home. Like it's like we're allowed to clock out like 9 minutes early without anything. And I rushed home. And I had
Mm-hmm.
tried bailing on Kevin, and he's like, nope, because I wanted to come home and drink. And I have had a few shots, not a lot, because I wanted to be,
Yeah,
aware for this.
yeah.
But that's my goal every day is rushing home and getting that shot. Like just,
When is the last time you experienced awe?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever looked at when is the last time you've ever experienced awe? When is the last time you looked up at the sky and were like so absorbed in a beautiful sunrise or sunset or the stars out and the moon? Do you pay attention to any of that?
I don't think I've ever felt that before.
Okay. Because there's a lot of research on experiencing awe, and it actually changes the neurons in your brain. This is like neuroscience that I'm talking now. So it gets the neurons firing in the right direction. Jordan Peterson also talks a lot about this. He's a psychotherapist, Jordan, but he's very good with neuroscience. And that's also a way to get you out of that primal brain, which is the back of the brain, back into that prefrontal cortex. Because essentially, when we're constantly numbing, we start paying attention to our outer world. So there's this suffocation and this barrier between us and, like, think of a kid that is like, oh my God, like they think like an ant, like crawling on a log is the fucking coolest thing they've ever seen, right? That's their moment of awe. So it's like, and that's why I asked you what you like to do when you were a kid. Like, how can we get back a little bit of that playfulness, a little bit of that awe and that wonder to start to change the neurons in the brain? And so maybe, just maybe, a little homework assignment is looking up at the sky a little bit more, taking in a sunrise, being outside for the sunset, looking up at the stars, and just finding one thing you're grateful for. Just one.
I'm grateful for a lot of things in my life. I am. Like, I'm not. I'm thankful for Kevin. I'm thankful for you. Like, I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my animals that love me every day. I'm thankful for my job. Like, I'm thankful for a lot. Like, I'm not unappreciated. Like, whatever that word is. I'm thankful. I don't think I've ever had like an awe moment, like where I really like embraced anything. Like, I'm blessed. I feel like I'm blessed, but
Well, you got to
nothing's
hang
ever
Let's
out with
really
me,
like.
Amanda, because I'm like a 5-year-old kid. And I'm like, oh my God, look at that. That's so beautiful. That's so amazing. All the
you are
time.
on.
Like, over the littlest
I
So
mean,
shit.
to show you my backyard, like, it's beautiful, but it's just like
I can
the
imagine. I love
sunset's
you.
pretty, but it's not like I don't know.
You're just not
this
captivated.
so this video you just got on video and you got vulnerable. You got pretty damn vulnerable. This video goes on YouTube. It's gonna get hundreds of fucking views. Okay,
It's not
so
gonna though, bro, because I couldn't even find little Amanda's video, and I was like,
that was hidden, and she got what is that? Around 60 views on hers. Okay, so that's big for this podcast. Actually, I think we got 160 at one point, but that was because this drunk woman got on a podcast with me and started arguing, and so
oh
it was
shit.
very, yeah, it was actually very freaking entertaining, and people just ate that up. Um, but this, so I'm proud of you. So I'm proud
Hey,
of you.
I'm proud of you too, man. I didn't know that you went through that. Like that's crazy. I never would have expected that of you. So, like, I'm proud of you too.
So
Okay,
you just got on video and you told your story, and that's a big
don't
fucking deal.
sidestep a
Go ahead.
compliment, Amanda. He just complimented you, and the first thing you did was you complimented him
Right.
back.
She deflected.
Instead of being like, thank you, yes, I am proud of myself too. You deflected the compliment and you went right back to Kevin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
this is
caught
the
that.
little
I.
thing. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like loving yourself is like, yeah, dude,
Well,
thank
that's
you.
good or bad.
Thank you. And I'm proud of myself too. Listen, all the years I worked in addiction, which was probably around 6, I could tell you that they are some of the kindest, most loving, good natured people. They always care about others. Always. They always, almost always put others before themselves. I see this pattern all the time. Life is very, very hard. And if there's one thing you could do for yourself, it's just meet this resistance and this challenging dark period in your life with as much grace and compassion as possible, because you
Well, let's
deserve
try
it.
it again. I am really proud of you for getting on video and telling your fucking story, and you teared up a little bit and you got vulnerable. I am proud of you for that, Amanda.
Thanks, you made me do it though.
Oh, there you go. You did the same thing.
She
I
said
just,
thank
I
you.
can't.
She said thank you.
She did the same thing. I am in Colorado. You're in New Mexico. I couldn't twist your arm if I tried.
I thought about like, oh, I just won't answer, but like, I won't do that to you. Like, I committed, so I spoke up, and
Well, it's a big deal, and you should be proud of yourself for that too. Because a lot of times, I think that the the hardest part for me, anyways, have always been being vulnerable and showing that vulnerability and admitting that I'm weak sometimes, and that I feel weak, and understanding even after I climb out of that, that even though other people may look at me like I'm weak still because they saw what I went through, or they saw how bad I got, how that I can still be proud of myself. And it doesn't really matter, it's my life. It doesn't really matter who knows what happened, who knows that I got so low and I showed so much weakness that I could be proud of myself for that. So, yeah. And I appreciate y'all for coming on. Carrie, thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
having me.
Thank you guys. If you don't want to
This,
post it, don't post it, because I
what do you
mean,
talk
yeah,
about? This is
boy,
going
pointless,
everywhere. This is going everywhere. You can't get out of it. I'm going to put this everywhere I can.
Oh, shush.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Amanda. I truly wish you the best. I think you've got a lot of sparkle and light in you, and I hope that you're able to dig down deep and see what others see about you. I hope you're able to see that for yourself.
That's what
I've
they
known
say.
Amanda a long time, and I saw her. We had dealings at the Yukon, and she's actually a pretty sweet woman. I mean, she's
Uh,
actually pretty damn sweet.
Caught
She's
me
I
on a
know
good
it.
day.
Huh?
So you caught me on a good day.
So I really do. I appreciate you coming on, and Carrie, thank you. This is very
Yeah,
last minute.
Kevin.
Sorry.
Appreciate it.
No, yeah,
Thank you
I
guys. I
appreciate.
appreciate you.
Let's. So I've got a tradition closing out. Okay, Amanda was very, very. She told us what she's doing with Carrie. What do you? Is there anything? What in your life do you still struggle with?
I
That's hard to talk about. It's got to be
no,
hard to
it's
talk about.
no. I'm no. I'm a different breed. I don't. I have like no shame or embarrassment about anything
Good.
anymore. So I have moved like 14 times in 5 years. And I'm a lot like Evan. I'm very like self-sufficient and self-reliant. So like I hired a mover once. I do everything myself. I've been on my own for 20 years. Um, and I I know that I need to root and ground myself and find stability. And I don't like know how to like I'm just like still struggling with that. Like to find
Okay.
where I belong, where I want to be, where I feel good and right. And I've been accused a lot of like, oh, you move around so much because you're constantly looking for the escape hatch, which may be partially true because I have that addict brain, but there's another part of me that has always been super restricted, and I had to grow up really quick, and I've been through a lot, and I was responsible for things as a kid that most people aren't. And so this was the first time in my life that I've like had any sense of freedom. I mean, I was a single mom for a really long time. I mean, I'm still a single mom, but my oldest will be 26 next week and my youngest is 24. So
Okay.
they're, they can take care of themselves now, but yeah, I'm still having trouble rooting, and I don't know what that is, and sometimes it makes me feel fundamentally fucked up inside.
Oh,
But I'll find my way. I'll find my way.
fair enough. Amanda, is there somebody you can call when you get off work? Would your wife appreciate a phone call? You know, sometimes my best times
You're gonna
talking to
call her or
people.
me?
No, you.
Oh no, I told her I was gonna call her when I was done.
Well, would you be able to? Would she appreciate you calling her when you get off work? Is
Yes.
there? Okay. Will you try that for me? Will you try to just the second you get in your car, make that a habit? Because it's easier to drive when you talk to somebody anyways, right? Like I love talking to people when I drive. So is there a way you can make that a habit that before you even hit your car, you call your wife? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
she's gonna be she's an important person in your life, and maybe she could lend you a little bit of foundation. You know what I mean? Maybe you can uh, there's a lot of stuff that we have to do on our own, but I don't believe we were meant to do a whole lot on our own.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I think so. Will you do that? Do you work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Will you just call your wife just tomorrow? That's all I'm asking. Call your wife tomorrow when you get off work. Tell her you love her and you just want to have a conversation. Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Like I do. I
Okay.
do. I do.
Okay. Because that might bypass that liquor store.
Oh, well.
Hopefully. Okay.
Yeah, I
The,
mean,
the,
it's easier said than done, honestly.
I, oh, I know. I
I
know it
mean,
is. I know.
it's like, I just go home, go home, go home.
I feel bad ending the podcast knowing what you're going through without coming to some sort of an agreement. Because you're my
Yeah,
friend.
no, I'm going to call my wife when I get off work, on my way to my car.
Okay.
No,
And
for sure.
you're gonna talk to her on the ride.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a good new habit too.
Maybe make
And
my
it's
bed in the morning. I don't know.
what'd you say, Carrie?
I said that's a good new habit. Like that's a good new routine for her to
Yeah,
start.
like some kind of just
Trying to disrupt the pattern
just
and do
something.
something different.
It's always a routine, though. I always call her when I get off work, but I always have my alcohol. Like, I went and I bought my alcohol. It's
Okay.
8 o'clock this morning. So when
Okay.
I got off, I could come home.
So on
Well,
your way to work,
say you know how to
on your way
prepare.
to work, you buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a good things in a lot of other areas of life. So do you normally buy your alcohol in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am in the gym always at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and I am free and my phone is in my pocket. So will you call me tomorrow morning?
Sure. I work at
Please.
7 a.m., so I'm up at
Say it again.
6:30. I
Okay,
work at
you're up at
7 a.m.
6:30.
tomorrow, so it's Sunday. Liquor, they don't sell alcohol till 10, but if I go to a grocery store, they'll sell me at 7 a.m.
Mm.
Okay, cool.
So,
So you're gonna call me in the morning. When you leave for work, you're gonna call me in the morning, and if I'm not out of bed, because I may not be out of bed, I'm spending out at my girlfriend's house. Um, if even if I'm not out of bed, I will answer my phone, and I'm gonna keep my notifications on. You're gonna call me, and I'm gonna hold you to that.
but
Okay, and I'm very talkative first thing in the morning, so I sort of feel bad for you. I'll talk to you for.
I'll call you in the
I'll tell.
morning.
Thank you. Just tomorrow. That's where we start. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's a
Amanda,
good
and
plan.
thank you, Carrie, for being on the
Yep.
podcast.
Sorry if
Thank
this
you
seemed
all.
like a waste of time for you guys. Like,
This is not a waste of time at all
it's like
Stop
whatsoever.
pointless.
that! Stop that bullshit.
This was a
And
pleasure.
Carrie, where can people? So I stumbled on one of your videos on Facebook, and that's how I found you.
Yeah.
So where can people reach you to find your content?
We don't know each other?
Just no.
No, it's
Oh.
kind of I kind of
Random.
just casted a line out. I came.
I said I thought you
Yeah,
guys were friends. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make
Hold on.
friends. Thank
Well, thank you. Like that's cool. Thank you. Like that's awesome.
I had my own business and I'm like in between. I stopped my one business. I'm in the process of starting another. I kind of like let my YouTube go so people can
Okay.
just find me on Facebook. I grew up super Irish Catholic, so I have my first, middle, and confirmation name, which makes me sound like I should be in a convent. Carrie Frances Ann. Sister Carrie Frances Ann. So you can find me on Facebook under Carrie Frances Ann.
So where would be the best
You
place
follow
for people
me.
to find you?
Yeah, Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook, yeah.
So Carrie is on Facebook.
You'll send me
and-
links and
Yeah, Amanda, I
Absolutely.
would love to friend you on social media and stay in touch, for sure.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Like that,
I love
I'd
that.
really appreciate that.
Of course.
It's nice to have someone to talk to.
Yeah, you can listen to
I
all
will
my
tag her in this
rants
post
on
also
Facebook.
when I.
Good, Kev, what were you saying?
I'll tag her in this post, and you can find her really easy that way. You just click on her.
Well,
name.
yeah,
So I'll tag
she
her.
was. I could just click on her thing and follow you. I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
All right, well, I hope everybody has a really good night. Amanda, it was very good catching up with you, even under these circumstances, okay? It's very good seeing your face. Because it's been freaking years and years and
Thanks
years.
for carrying me like a baby. He's
You
like,
carry-
oh, I didn't know you
I,
weighed this much. I was
I've,
like, yeah.
I've, I've carried her across the bar a couple times.
Well,
So, thank you for being on. I'm gonna close. We're gonna close out.
okay.
If there's Carrie, if there's anything you want anyone to know about you, or about the work you're doing, or anything like that, let it out now.
People can feel free to message me, and I can, if they want, like, I'm more of a guide than a coach. I feel like there's a marked difference, but if anybody wants to work with
Okay.
me one on one, they can just private message me on Facebook for right now until I get my business launched.
That'd be really
Okay.
cool.
Yep. Well,
All
thank you
right.
guys.
I'm
That'd be
glad
Have a
really
you.
great.
cool.
I'm
Take care.
Okay.
Bye bye.
absolutely. Everybody have a good night. And I'm glad you all connected.
You
Talk
too.
to you in the
Thank
Bye,
you.
morning,
Amanda.
Kev.
Bye, Carrie. Yes,
Bye
ma'am.
bye.
Okay.
You're gonna call me in the morning.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna call you in the morning.
All
Give
right.
me a
Bye.
deal. Okay. All right. Bye.